The consensus amongst your ulama is that the Torah is textually corrupted, right? And because we can prove that the Torah is soundly transmitted from Sinai, we reject Islam, right, by this claim.
Okay, where did you get this from?
Like the claim, or like how we know it's not it's not corrupted.
Yeah, how do you know it's not corrupted?
Right, so can I give you the argument?
Yeah.
Okay. Tens of thousands of sages, which are Chachamim, attest today to receiving the Masorah, which is the transmission of the written Torah and the oral Torah from the previous generation, recounting the previous generation's numbers in the tens of thousands, and also receiving from these tens of thousands before them that this process of generational transmission through recounting the number in the tens of thousands has always been so since Sinai. For this to be false, it entails two possible options. Either A, an entire generation of sages fabricated the tradition, which is an irrational assumption because of the criteria of a sage, or B, an entire generation of tens of thousands of sages fell into error in its transmission, which is also an irrational assumption because the criteria of a sage is having a high level of observed righteousness and intelligence, which would make both those possibilities irrational, right?
Okay. So let's pause right there and digest what he's saying. His argument is, according to his sages are a group of what we would call them the scholars, who basically say our Torah is not corrupted for the following reasons, and here's the reasons, and they go through their host of reasons.
No, that's not my claim, right? My claim isn't that because they say the Torah is not corrupted, therefore the Torah is not corrupted. That's not my claim. It's what they are attesting to, and the claim itself has an improbability of fabrication or falling into error, right? So do you chop what that means? I can put into premises if it's easier. Okay,
let me ask you this. Yod He Vav He, right? Which is the tetragrammaton, which is allegedly the secret name of God, correct?
Right, Sheikh, how is that relevant to what I asked you? But sure.
What is God's name, if it's relevant? If your Torah is preserved, you should have God's name. What is it?
Right, so we know what God's name is. We know how to spell it, right? And we even know the pronunciation. However, we do not say it, right? And this is because, for example, we find in Exodus, it says that this is my name, to conceal. This is what God says to Moses. He says, le'alem, to conceal, right? And not only do we have this, we also have the tradition that the name should not be pronounced except by the high priest on Yom Kippur, the holiest day, right? So I don't see how this is relevant to my argument. Again, deal with my argument. Are you saying...
I am dealing with your argument.
Are you saying that tens of thousands of sages, either A, fabricated...
Yes, I'm saying they're wrong. I'm saying they're wrong, and I'm saying...
Let me clarify. So you're saying that they fabricated it, correctly? Or fell into error? Which one?
Intentional, yes.
Okay, intentional fabrication. So by saying this, you just have made Islam false. Why? Because...
Why?
I'll explain.
It says exactly that in the Quran.
I'll explain. Because it is much more probable that one man, in your case, Prophet Muhammad, fabricated the idea that he got the Quran from God, made it up, invented it, then tens of thousands of sages would fabricate the Torah, right? It is much more probable this way. You are taking an irrational assumption, right? If you are going to say tens of thousands of sages...
Using that same logic, I have to believe that Jesus is boiling in shit, because those same sages would probably say so. So
again, that's not the claim. Again, you're using
false logic. I'm not entertaining your.
I'm using
your
abductive inference.
I'm not Listen to me. I'm not entertaining that. Listen to me. I'm not entertaining. Listen to me. I'm not entertaining. Nor, with all due respect, give a crap what any of your sages say. I don't. Right, I don't care. And I'm going to tell you why I don't care. I'm going to tell you why I don't care. You spoke more than I have, and I'm going to speak, or I'm going to drop you. Okay. The reason why I'm going to tell you is I don't care what your sages say is because historical evidence has already shown that there are not only significant oral translation variants, but there's also different readings. Also, on occasion, post the Dead Sea Scrolls, if you would have looked and saw the Dead Sea Scrolls, one of the major issues that they had with the Dead Sea Scrolls is that it showed that large portions of the Torah remained remarkably stable over time and centuries, but had significant variants, readings, and occasional admissions and omissions. You can find this by literally going into Stanford.edu.
Can I respond?
No, don't respond. I'm not interested in your Torah. So miss me with that.
Let me address what you said, right? So first of all,
do you read Torah? Do you read the Torah?
Again, hold on 1 second. Yes, let me address what you said, though.
Okay. If you read the Torah...
Wait 1 second. The Sheikh, you made a claim. Let me respond to you.
Read the Torah...
Wait 1 second. The Sheikh, you made a claim.
Stop telling me to wait on my platform.